Hi everyone, thanks for tuning in. I'm Ken from Crypto Trading KS. Let's run the numbers. Bitcoin is currently down 17.28% to 46,973. Ethereum down 15.6% to 38.46. Generally, I spend many hours putting the videos together that I release each day. This one is pretty special. I'm just going to fly through things. I just want to give you a bit of a feeling as to what's going on inside the market. The community reached out to me and just asked me if I would do this. Of course, I'm always happy to help out. In days like today, it's really important to remember Rule 45. No alt can escape Bitcoin's gravity. The sea of red that we see is because of Bitcoin's gravity. It's pulling down the entire crypto market. I'd like to give you a bit of an interpretation as to what I believe happened. What basically happened here, we were underneath support and a lot of longs were in the market expecting higher prices. They had their stop limits, their stop orders in here to cover those long positions if price went against them. And price did exactly that. And we can see here the shorts entering the market en masse and pushing the longs down into cascading liquidations. We can see the price came down substantially, almost to this support level of 41,933. That's a real massive drop, but this is the nature of the crypto market. It's so volatile because it's exponential in nature. It decays exponentially and actually repairs exponentially as well. It's not a linear market and it's very, very fast. We can see the current price of Bitcoin is $47,077. We're at a level of support, just above another level of support at 45,881. Each day I talk about this little guy going for a walk. Make in advance probabilistic choices. I always ask, what will you do if Bitcoin breaks out and suddenly goes to 100,000? What will you do if Bitcoin suddenly collapses to 40,000 or even 30,000? And what do you do if Bitcoin just goes horizontal and gets so boring you want to poke it with a stick and say, come on Bitcoin, do something? Those three questions allow you to manage your 10-5-10 fund. When you feel that things are in profit and you can take partial profits because you never want to bank a loss if you can possibly avoid it. Also, something really, really important, please keep away from leverage. Now, why do I say that? In the market, currently $2.51 billion worth of liquidations occurred and decimated 397,841 traders. That's a lot of people. Over the past 12 hours, nearly 85% of liquidations were long liquidations. And you can see here that we've had $2 billion liquidations in longs and 414 million in shorts. That just rivals the 7th of September when we had 3.22 billion in liquidations of longs and $360 million of liquidations in shorts. This is why you should always buy at spot. People talk about risk management. One of the best risk management strategies is to buy at spot. Don't touch derivatives. They will slaughter you. Once every couple of months, you're going to get a day like today when the whole market will disintegrate beneath your feet. And that is something to be aware of. This is why we always need to watch the downside risk. I talk a lot about the 2016 bull run. We had 20, 30, 40, even 50% drawdowns during that time. It's really important to be aware of the negative drawdown. The positive upside is quite enjoyable for people. People don't really mind too much about that. But it's the negative downside risk that can really push people out of the market. We can see in the 2016 bull run, we had a lot of negative price action which yielded capitulation. It came back to a level and then just shot up. And this is something we always need to be aware of. Of course, the real question on everybody's mind is where to from here. We can see that we've got a level of support coming in at Bitcoin's current price. But be aware, just think about it like this. The price is always psychological by nature. So say if you were asleep and you woke up and you saw that Bitcoin was down 17% and all your beloved alts had bled maybe 20, 30, even 40%, what would you do? And what do you think the majority of retail investors and traders would do? Would they just say, oh, this is okay, this is crypto, I'll just hold on? Or would they say, oh my goodness, I have to get out of here, this thing is going to zero? Just be really aware of that. What does that basically mean? The US market has yet to wake up and encounter what just happened. When it does, there is a likelihood that we'll see further downside pressure on prices, and that would be perfectly understandable because we understand crowd psychology. Crowd psychology means that all price is psychologically driven. And the algorithms in the market just pay attention to that psychology and exploit it against retail investors. And if you think about all of those liquidations, those billions of dollars of liquidations, somebody was on the other side of that, scoring that. That became their profit. You can just think that the algos have basically picked up $2,000 million. What are they going to do with it? They're going to put it back into the market. They may seek to sell down, of course, to capitalize on the emotional state that accompanies loss. That's why we always say price is negatively biased. Have your potential up and downside risk management strategies in play at all times. Don't let price movements catch you off guard. I don't know your financial position and I don't know what your goals are. If you're investing or you're trading or what kind of investing you're doing, but I can tell you what I'm doing. What I'm doing is expecting that price can go lower. I think that there will be a lot of panic and crowd psychology could push people to sell against their better judgment, and that would be fair. When people come into the market, if they're in zone 1 and zone 2, of course they will try to exit, maybe go all out. What we could expect is price to go anywhere down to 34,000. Now, if it does, I don't believe there's any problem in terms of market structure. I would believe that there would be a substantial bounce from that. Maybe you can just look at the recent price action to explain. It's quite good to note that we went down 22.02%, but we've just bounced back about 50% of that already. These long tail rejections are very, very normal, and this particular line of support will be heavily defended by buyers. It's possible that panic could set in the next 24 hours and push us down to around 38,233. That's another further 19% drop. What happens when these big sell-offs occur is that people panic and there's multiple waves of selling off. It's kind of panic on panic. But as a community, we don't do panic. We look at this and we say, wow, what an opportunity to get in. And for those people that have deployed all their capital, don't worry about it. It takes a long time to get the thinking of the 10-5-10 fund, because basically you have money sitting on the sidelines and you might feel it's not doing anything until you encounter something like this. And then you say, wow, that was really good that I had that there. If you don't, if you're just fully invested, don't worry too much about things. That's the position that I am taking. I don't expect there to be a full-scale meltdown. There was actually a piece of news that we covered in the last video that talked about the Evergrande issue. I believe that's probably what's catalytic and behind this potential sell-off. But however, the Chinese government is going to cover the onshore real estate market and basically leave the international market to defend for itself. If you think about that, the major problem was China basically tanking its own economy and it's not going to do that. So that's really good news. The debt ceiling has been kicked down the road. The can has been kicked down the road. Of course, there are always other headwinds, and that's why I spend so much time going through what is happening, so you know day in, day out, what to feel and what to look for. Let's have a probabilistic look at the top cryptos. What we can see is Bitcoin coming into a level of potential support here. We just have to be aware of herd behavior and the psychology that's going to play in when the US market wakes up and sees very double-digit negative numbers playing out. It will be very fair that people will sell into that. We can see Ethereum will reach support at around 3,600. Cardano is actually reaching support right now. Binance Coin will reach support around the $400 mark. XRP is close to reaching support around the 60-cent mark. We can see Doge is currently under support. Things could get very ugly for Doge, but that's just in the short term. These cryptos are really resilient. It's important not to be subject to the light switch effect. Don't swap in and swap out. Go all in and go all out. You need to scale in and scale out. That's the safest thing that you can do. Looking at DOT, it's coming into a level of consolidation. This is a support area, as is 2550. Sol has been incredibly powerful. It has very strong support around the 160 level. The metaverse is one of crypto's jewels in the crown. Getting into the metaverse projects right now is just incredible. They are going to do so well over time. Literally, just as the internet reflected the physical space into the digital space, allowed stores to sell online and information to be transmitted around the world by email and web page, what we're going to see is the metaverse or the omniverse actually open up, and we're going to live there. These particular cryptos are the foundations of that new society. These are going to go crazy over time, but we have to weather the storm. We have to weather these particular price actions that are just inherent in crypto's DNA, I guess. That's probably the easiest way to say it. When I look at these red tails, I've been buying them. They're fantastic to get in on. Not so much on SLP. I must say I'm keeping away from SLP. It's not looking very healthy, but the other ones are looking very good. These are all top tier metaverse projects, especially Decentraland, Engine, Sand, ILV, and Axie Infinity. It's on days like today where you can figure out where you really are in this stage. The 4 stages that all investors and traders progress through to become consistently profitable and attain real wealth. A lot of people are in zone 1. They're just internally panicking. If you're there, my heart goes out to you. It's a really tough place to be. If you're in zone 2, you're angry at the world. No need to be angry. This is just part of the process of getting to zone 3, which is all about patience and rules, all about being fearless, probabilistic fearlessness, knowing what you will do. When we can move from certainty, which is zone 1 and zone 2, which just creates terror. A lot of influencers are very responsible for this terror that sweeps through the crypto market all the time. They are so certain where it's going. They don't tell their people, what if it goes down? Have you got a strategy for that? They simply say it's going up and up and up. Just get in, go all in. And that's really bad because we know crypto is so volatile. When you can move away from certainty into probability, and that requires a lot of forgiveness, not for other people, but just for yourself. You say, I couldn't have known any different. I know differently now, so things will be different. And that goes for all of us. Every single trader and investor that gets to zone 3 was a person that initially panicked and then a person that blamed. Every single professional has gone through these zones. And because they've progressed through those zones, it's no problem that you might find yourself in them. And no problem that you may have been in zone 3 and slip back to zone 2. Absolutely no problem at all. Please be kind to yourself. This is just really the nature of crypto, to drive everyone crazy. If you understand that, you're way along the path relative to other people. At times like this, it's really easy to get very angry at yourself. Please don't. Just have appreciation because you're in the best market at the best possible time. Crypto is just starting. It's an amazing industry. What crypto represents is the upgrade of the internet, from the internet of information to the internet of value. And with the metaverse, the omniverse, it's completely different. We're going to move into a player one, Ready Player One gaming scenario. It's going to be very, very different. And you're right at the start. That's incredible. This is just a minor fluctuation. These things happen all the time. Everybody's portfolio has gone a bit red at the moment. That's okay. That's just normal. And if you're with a loved one who is in the crypto market, it's important to bond your relationship together more strongly. Just grow together. You're both at the best possible time in the best possible market. If you can have kindness and love for each other, it really makes a difference. This is why I always say life's internal battle is the real battle. When we get disappointed, the first thing that we do, natural human reaction, is to get angry. It's to blame. It's to do all of those things. If you're saying, I should have known, I shouldn't have done that, you couldn't have known. You just have to leave that go. Let that go to the keeps, so to speak. It's not important. If you can predict next draw in terms of a lottery, well, you can criticize yourself and say, well, I should have picked the numbers because I knew what they were. Nobody can do that. And just be kind to yourself at all times and be kind to others. Everybody's going through a tough road. Life is hard. We can all be a little bit kinder and a little bit more loving to each other, and it will make all the difference in the world, especially if you don't feel like doing it. If you get the opportunity, I would recommend having a look at episode 349. It could really help. That's 10 steps to master fear. That's part of the Real Wealth series. I hope you found the content useful. Please consider sharing and liking this video if you think it will help others. Thank you to our moderators for keeping our community safe from scammers. Please say hi and let me know where you're viewing from and if you have any questions. In the comments section on YouTube, please let me know how you're feeling about the market. When you look at all this red, how are you approaching it? I would be really interested to share in your thoughts. If you would like daily updates on price movements in the crypto market, please subscribe to YouTube. I've left helpful links in the description of this video. Please remember, crypto is volatile. Always prepare yourself for the best and worst case scenarios. Reality will likely be between them. Stay safe out there, take care, and see you next time. Bye for now.